The massive alien ship appeared without warning, its dark metal hull blocking out the stars above Sydney, Australia. In the International Space Station, Captain Jack Smith watched through the viewport as the vessel, easily the size of a small city, moved into a stable orbit. Unknown vessel, this is the International Space Station. We welcome peaceful contact. He broadcast on all frequencies. The response came in perfect English, though the voice held an odd metallic echo. Primitive species, this is High Commander of the Dominion Forces. Your planet has been chosen for integration into our empire. Surrender now, and your population will be preserved as labor-class citizens. In the ISS's command module, Smith exchanged worried looks with his crew. With all due respect, he replied carefully, Earth is home to over 7 billion people. We have our own civilization, our own culture. We're not interested in becoming part of your empire. The alien's laugh crackled through the speakers. Your weapons are primitive. Your defenses are negligible. We have conquered 1,000 worlds more advanced than yours. Resistance would be unfortunate. Before Smith could respond, the alien ship launched several smaller vessels. They streaked through the atmosphere, heading straight for the Australian continent. They're targeting the outback, Smith reported to Earth's hastily assembled Defense Council, probably thinking the low population density makes it an easy landing zone. He paused, then added, they don't know what they're getting into. The first alien landing party touched down near Kakadu National Park. 6 tall figures emerged from their ship, covered in gleaming armor that rippled like liquid metal. Their helmet sensors scanned the surrounding landscape, detecting no immediate threats. Area secure, the squad leader reported. Local wildlife readings indicate minimal threat levels. Beginning establishment of forward base. They didn't notice the ripple in the nearby riverbank. The massive saltwater crocodile had lived in these waters for decades. At 6 meters long, it was one of the largest of its kind. To its primitive but effective brain, the aliens were simply new prey that had wandered too close to its territory. The first alien died before its sensors even registered movement. The crocodile's jaw evolved over millions of years to produce the strongest bite force on Earth, crushed through the advanced armor like it was made of tin foil. The alien's scream cut off in a burst of static. Contact. Unknown hostile. The squad leader spun around, weapon ready, but the crocodile was already gone, dragging its prey into the murky water. Another alien backed toward the ship, sensors sweeping frantically. Impossible. Our armor is rated for energy weapons. Nothing on this primitive planet should be able to breach it. The second attack came from above. A massive bird, black and blue, with a horn-like crest and deadly claws, dropped from a tree. The cassowary's strike drove its largest claw straight through the alien's helmet. The supposedly advanced protection offered no more resistance than an eggshell. Retreat. Retreat to the ship. The squad leader's order came too late. 2 more crocodiles erupted from the water. The remaining aliens discovered that their energy weapons, designed to fight space battles and pierce shields, were useless against creatures that had evolved to kill for over 200 million years. The entire first contact lasted less than 5 minutes. In orbit, the High Commander received the fragmented emergency transmission. Base team lost. Indigenous life forms. Unprecedented threat level. Request immediate. The transmission ended in static. The High Commander ordered an immediate scan of the area. The results were puzzling. The only living things their sensors could detect were local wildlife. Impossible. The High Commander muttered. Send in the elite guard. Whatever primitive weapons they're using, they cannot stand against our best warriors. In the ISS, Captain Smith watched as more alien ships descended toward Australia. He smiled grimly as he sent a message to Earth's Defense Council. They're making the same mistake again. They think we're the most dangerous things on this planet. He knew better. Humans had survived on Earth for thousands of years precisely because they'd learned to respect and fear their planet's wildlife. These aliens were about to learn the same lesson, the hard way. The war for Earth was about to begin, and humanity's finest warriors would be the creatures that had been perfecting the art of killing since before humans existed. The Dominion's elite warriors stood at the edge of the Great Barrier Reef, their enhanced armor glinting in the Australian sun. After losing the first landing party, they had come prepared. Their new suits were reinforced with layers of the strongest metals in the galaxy. No primitive life form will breach this armor, the squad commander declared, leading his team into the crystal-clear waters. Their mission was simple: establish an underwater base as a foothold on this troublesome planet. None of them noticed the nearly invisible box jellyfish drifting nearby. The first sting went through the commander's armor like it wasn't there. The most lethal jellyfish in Earth's oceans had evolved venom that could kill in minutes. The aliens' advanced medical systems, designed to counter energy weapons and plasma burns, had no defense against this simple chemical weapon. "What's happening?" The commander's voice crackled with panic over the radio. "My suit, my skin, it burns." Before anyone could respond, more jellyfish drifted into the group. Within moments, 3 more warriors fell. Their armor, proof against lasers and plasma, meant nothing against venom that had evolved over millions of years. Back at the temporary command center, Tom Wilson, a former wildlife officer turned military strategist, watched drone footage of the aliens' defeat. "They keep making the same mistake," he told the assembled Defense Council. "They think technology beats nature. They don't understand that Earth's creatures have been in an arms race for millions of years." The council listened as he laid out his plan. Instead of fighting the aliens with tanks and jets, they would use Australia's wildlife as their first line of defense. The Dominion's next attack came at dawn. A full platoon of warriors, now wearing sealed environmental suits, marched inland from the coast. They had learned from the jellyfish disaster, or so they thought. They hadn't counted on the spiders. Sydney funnel web spiders, among the most venomous on Earth, had no trouble piercing the weak joints of the alien suits. Blue-ringed octopi, carried inland by Australian soldiers, proved that even the smallest creatures could be deadly weapons. "Fall back." The alien lieutenant called as his troops dropped one by one. "These primitive venom weapons." His words cut off as a new sound filled the air. The deep thumping, like heavy drums. The ground shook. A mob of kangaroos, each standing 2 meters tall and weighing up to 90 kilograms, bounded toward the alien line. The aliens' energy weapons flashed, but the kangaroos were too many and too fast. Powerful legs, evolved to fight other males for dominance, smashed through alien armor. But the worst was yet to come. "Release the cassowaries," Tom ordered through his radio. Australian wildlife officers opened several cages, releasing a dozen of the large flightless birds, standing as tall as a person, with claws that could disembowel a human. Cassowaries were living dinosaurs. The aliens never stood a chance. Impossible. The High Commander raged in orbit, watching another squad vanish from his sensors. "These are just animals. Mindless beasts." Tom smiled as he watched the alien forces retreat. "That's where they're wrong," he told his team. "These aren't just animals. They're the survivors of billions of years of evolution. Everything that lives in Australia had to become deadly just to survive." He turned to a map showing alien landing sites. Red X's marked where Earth's wildlife had eliminated entire squads. "And the best part? We haven't even shown them the inland creatures yet. Wait until they meet the inland tapins, the world's most venomous snakes, or the saltwater crocodiles in the rivers." The war was far from over, but Earth had found its advantage. The aliens had technology, but Earth had something better: millions of years of evolutionary warfare compressed into the deadliest collection of creatures in the known galaxy. As if to emphasize his point, a report came in. Another alien squad had just discovered why you don't disturb a bull ant nest. Their screams, even through their advanced communication systems, proved that nature had already won this round. After their crushing defeat in Australia, The Dominion forces turned their attention to South America. Their scanners showed the Amazon rainforest as a vast green expanse, seemingly empty of advanced technology. Surely, they thought, this would be an easier target. They were wrong again. Professor Anna Miller sat in her research station deep in the Amazon, watching the alien ships descend through the canopy. As one of the world's leading experts on rainforest wildlife, she knew exactly what awaited the invaders. They picked the worst possible landing spot. She radioed to command. They're right in bullet ant territory. The aliens had modified their armor yet again, adding special coating to resist Earth's venoms. Their first squad moved confidently through the undergrowth, sensors sweeping for large predators. They were looking up and around, but not down. The bullet ants struck first. Each tiny insect crawled through microscopic gaps in the alien armor, gaps needed for the suits to bend and move. Their stings, rated by humans as the most painful of any insect, went straight through the alien's thick skin. "What is this?" An alien warrior screamed over the radio. "It feels like burning metal in our blood." Anna watched through her binoculars as the alien stumbled and fell. "Bullet ants," she explained to her research team. "Their sting feels like being shot, hence the name. Even their new armor can't keep out something that small." But the ants were just the beginning. As the aliens retreated toward their ships, they backed into the territory of a giant anaconda. The massive snake, sensing the heat from their bodies, struck with lightning speed. Its powerful coils, evolved to crush caimans, made short work of the reinforced alien armor. "Command, this is ridiculous," the alien squad leader reported. "Every creature here is a weapon. Even the small ones are deadly." They tried to regroup near a river, not realizing this was the worst possible choice. Electric eels, disturbed by their movements, released powerful charges into the water. The aliens' electronic systems, so advanced they could detect movement from orbit, shorted out completely. In her station, Anna recorded everything. "Notice how their technology keeps failing against natural weapons," she told the command center. "Their armor stops energy beams, but can't handle snake fangs. Their shields block missiles, but fail against electric eels. Evolution is more creative than their engineers." The Dominion launched a desperate air assault, hoping to stay above the danger. They hadn't counted on the harpy eagles, massive birds of prey that could snatch monkeys from treetops. The eagles, seeing the alien drones as prey, tore through them with talons designed to pierce bone. Then came the poison dart frogs. Brazilian wildlife officers, wearing special protective gear, collected dozens of the tiny amphibians. Each frog contained enough poison to kill 10 humans. Against the aliens, they proved just as deadly. "This is impossible." The alien commander's voice crackled through intercepted communications. "They're using biological weapons we can't defend against. Every plant, every insect, every creature is deadly." Anna smiled as she added to her report. "They still don't understand," she told her team. "These aren't weapons we made. This is just nature. The Amazon evolved these defenses over millions of years. We're just letting them do what they've always done." The final blow came from the wandering spiders. A colony of these highly aggressive arachnids, disturbed by the alien activity, swarmed through their camp at night. Their venom, evolved to kill quickly, proved just as effective against alien biology. By morning, the Dominion forces had retreated from the Amazon entirely. They marked the entire rainforest as a Level 10 hazard zone, the same rating they gave to worlds with active biological warfare. Anna filed her final report. The Amazon defense was a complete success. Earth's rainforest has once again proved why it's one of the deadliest ecosystems in the world. The aliens never stood a chance against millions of years of evolutionary warfare. In orbit, the Dominion High Command faced an uncomfortable truth. They had lost another battle to creatures that weren't even trying to fight a war. They were simply doing what they had evolved to do, survive. The Dominion High Command was desperate after their defeats in Australia and the Amazon. They launched their largest offensive yet, targeting the savannas of Africa. This time, they sent a full invasion force of 5,000 warriors. Dr. James Cooper watched from a hidden observation post as the massive alien ships descended onto the Serengeti. As Africa's top wildlife expert, he knew what was coming. They chose the worst possible time to invade. He radioed to the Defense Command. It's migration season. The aliens had learned from their previous failures. They brought hover tanks and flying combat platforms, thinking they could stay safely above the ground. Their first wave spread out across the savannah, confident that no Earth creature could reach them now. They hadn't counted on the African honeybees. Swarms of the aggressive insects, disturbed by the aliens' landing, attacked in clouds of thousands. Unlike normal bees, African honeybees pursued threats for miles. The aliens' floating platforms offered no protection. The tiny gaps in their armor were all the bees needed. Interesting, Dr. Cooper noted in his journal. Their new armor stops bullets but can't handle something as simple as a bee sting. The aliens retreated from the bees, only to enter hippo territory. The massive animals, the most deadly in Africa, took the hover tanks as a threat to their waterholes. 3-ton bodies, powered by pure muscle and territorial fury, smashed through the advanced alien vehicles like they were made of paper. Command, these beasts are insane. An alien officer shouted through their communications. They're attacking without fear, without strategy. We can't predict them. Dr. Cooper smiled as he watched through his binoculars. That's because they're not fighting a war, he said to his team. They're just defending their territory, like they've done for millions of years. The aliens tried to regroup near a river, thinking the water would provide safety. It was their biggest mistake yet. A massive Nile crocodile, longer than their largest vehicle, erupted from the water. Its jaws, carrying the strongest bite force ever measured, crushed their reinforced armor with ease. The alien commander ordered his troops to higher ground, away from the water. They found themselves in the path of a charging rhinoceros. The massive animal, weighing more than 2 tons and capable of running at 30 miles per hour, treated their energy shields like they didn't exist. Fascinating, Dr. Cooper reported. Their shields are designed to stop energy weapons, but they can't handle simple kinetic force. A charging rhino has more impact than their weapons are designed to block. The final blow came from an unexpected direction. A pride of lions, drawn by the chaos, saw the aliens as prey. The big cats attacked with generations of hunting knowledge, targeting weak points and working as a team. The aliens' advanced combat training meant nothing against predators that had evolved to take down animals 3 times their size. Fall back. Fall back. The alien commander's voice crackled with panic. These creatures, they're not just animals. They're living weapons. Dr. Cooper watched as the remaining alien forces retreated in chaos. They still don't understand, he told the Defense Command. Africa's wildlife isn't weaponized. It's just survived in the most competitive ecosystem on Earth. Everything here had to become deadly just to live another day. As the sun set over the Serengeti, the aliens marked another defeat in their invasion log. Their advanced army, capable of conquering entire star systems, had been driven back by creatures that weren't even trying to fight a war. In their retreat, they flew over a herd of elephants. The massive animals barely looked up at the alien ships. They didn't need to. They had already proven what every species on Earth knew. When it came to survival, technology was no match for millions of years of evolution. Report to High Command. The alien commander sent his final message. Africa is unsuitable for invasion. Local wildlife makes conventional warfare impossible. Recommend marking entire continent as Class 10 hazard zone. Dr. Cooper added one last note to his observations. Day 3 of the African front. The aliens finally learned what we've known all along. On this continent, everything is a survivor, and every survivor is a warrior. After their defeats on 3 continents, the Dominion forces changed their strategy. Instead of fighting on land, they would establish bases deep in Earth's oceans. Surely the deep waters would be safer than facing the terrors on land. Dr. Maria Torres, lead marine biologist at the Pacific Research Center, watched their submarines descend into the depths. She knew better. They think the ocean is empty, she told her research team. They're about to learn why we call it the final frontier. The alien submarines, advanced vessels capable of withstanding the crushing pressures of deep water, spread out across the Pacific Ocean. Their first base would be in the Great White Shark hunting grounds off the coast of California. It was a terrible choice. The great whites detected the submarines immediately. To their highly sensitive electroreceptors, the alien vessels might as well have been broadcasting a dinner bell. 6-meter predators, perfectly evolved over millions of years, attacked the submarines with 6,000 pounds of bite force. Warning: hull breach in sections 3 and 4. An alien crew's panic echoed through intercepted communications. These primitive creatures are biting through our reinforced metal. Dr. Torres monitored the situation from her research vessel. Great whites test bite everything in their territory, she explained to military command. Unfortunately for the aliens, their test bites can crush a seal's skull like an egg. The aliens retreated to deeper waters, thinking they'd be safer in the darkness. They found something worse: colossal squids, the mysterious giants of the deep, with tentacles longer than a school bus and beaks that could crack bone, attacked anything that entered their domain. Multiple vessels lost. The alien commander's voice crackled through the deep-sea communications. These creatures, they're attacking from all directions. But the real trouble started when they encountered the orcas. Killer whales, the ocean's apex predators, saw the alien vessels as intruders in their hunting grounds. What followed wasn't just an attack. It was a coordinated assault. Dr. Torres watched the sonar readings in amazement. "Look at this," she pointed to her screen. "The orcas are hunting the alien ships just like they hunt whales. They're working together, using tactics passed down through generations." The killer whales struck in pods, some distracting the alien vessels while others rammed them from below. Their echolocation disrupted the alien sonar systems. When the submarines tried to surface, the orcas herded them into shallow waters where they became stranded. Impossible. The alien admiral watched his fleet's destruction. These are just animals. They can't be this intelligent. The aliens tried one last strategy: establishing a base near the coral reefs, thinking the shallow waters would be safer. They hadn't counted on the blue-ringed octopus colonies. The tiny cephalopods, each small enough to fit in a human hand, but carrying enough venom to kill 20 adults, found their way into the aliens' underwater bases through maintenance hatches and cooling systems. The small ones are inside our base. An alien technician's last transmission cut off abruptly. They're everywhere. They're toxin. Our systems can't. Dr. Torres added another note to her report. The aliens' advanced medical technology, designed to counter weapons from across the galaxy, has no defense against the simple tetrodotoxin of a tiny octopus. The final blow came from the electric eels. A school of them, gathered near the aliens' last remaining base, released their charges simultaneously. The electromagnetic pulses fried the aliens' sensitive equipment, leaving their bases dark and defenseless. "Retreat," the alien admiral ordered. "Earth's oceans are forbidden territory." These creatures, they're unlike anything we've encountered in the galaxy. Dr. Torres smiled as she watched the alien ships flee back to space. They never understood, she told her team. Our oceans have been an evolutionary battlefield for over 500 million years. Everything here is either a predator or has survived being prey. There's no technology in the galaxy that can match that kind of experience. The aliens marked Earth's oceans as maximum hazard zone in their star charts. Their report was simple: ocean life forms too hostile for colonization. Native species demonstrate unprecedented levels of aggression, and tactical capability. Earth's oceans had protected their secrets for millions of years. Now they had protected the planet itself. Desperate after their failures in the tropics and oceans, the Dominion forces turned to Earth's polar regions. The Arctic's freezing temperatures and seemingly empty landscape looked promising on their scanners. Surely, they thought, no deadly creatures could survive in such harsh conditions. Commander Robert Stone stood at the window of the Arctic Research Station, watching the alien ships land on the ice. After 20 years studying polar wildlife, he knew exactly what was coming. They think the cold will protect them from Earth's wildlife, he radioed to base. They're about to learn about cold weather predators. The aliens deployed their new cold-resistant armor and began establishing their base on the thick ice. Their sensors, focused on detecting technology and large heat signatures, failed to notice the polar bears approaching downwind. The largest land predators on Earth moved with surprising silence for their size. The first alien patrol never saw the attack coming. A 1,000-kilogram mass of muscle and fur, powered by generations of survival instinct, smashed through their reinforced armor like it was plastic. What's happening? The alien squad leader's panicked voice crackled through the radio. These white beasts, they're enormous. Commander Stone watched through his thermal binoculars. Polar bears can smell seals through a meter of ice, he explained to his team. The aliens' fancy suits might block scanners, but they can't hide their scent. The aliens retreated to their ships, only to discover another problem. The extreme cold was affecting their technology. Their energy weapons misfired, their sensors glitched, and their heating systems struggled against temperatures their engineers had never planned for. The cold itself is a weapon here, Stone noted in his log, nature's first line of defense in the Arctic. The Dominion forces tried to move their base onto the sea ice, thinking the unstable surface would deter large predators. Instead, they met the walruses. Massive creatures weighing up to 2 tons, with tusks that could pierce steel, the walruses saw the alien structures as threats to their territory. Hull breach in sectors 5 through 7. An alien engineer screamed over the comms. These tusked monsters are tearing through our foundation supports. But the worst was yet to come. A pod of orcas, the same species that had destroyed their submarines in the Pacific, found the alien base. The killer whales began breaking up the ice around the structure, using hunting techniques they normally employed against seals. They're working together, Stone observed, amazed. The orcas break the ice, forcing the aliens to move, and the polar bears wait at the edge of the solid ice. Perfect teamwork, and they're not even the same species. The aliens attempted one final strategy, moving their base inland to escape the marine predators. They found themselves in the hunting territory of an Arctic wolf pack. The wolves, capable of surviving the harshest winters on Earth, saw the aliens as prey. The wolf pack's hunting strategy, perfected over thousands of generations, proved devastating. Some wolves distracted the alien guards, while others attacked power cables and support structures. The aliens' advanced combat training meant nothing against predators that had evolved to hunt in perfect coordination. Fascinating, Stone reported to command. The wolves are treating the alien base just like they would a musk ox herd, isolating the weak points, attacking support systems, wearing down their prey's defenses. In orbit, the Dominion High Command received the final transmission from their Arctic base. Temperature dropping, systems failing, native predators breaching all defenses. The cold, the beasts, they're everywhere. Commander Stone made his final entry in the research log. The aliens made the same mistake everyone does when they first come to the Arctic. They thought empty meant safe. They never understood that anything surviving here had to become incredibly tough and efficient at killing. The Arctic doesn't allow for anything less. As the aurora borealis danced overhead, the last alien ships fled Earth's polar region. They had discovered the hard way that Earth's most extreme environments bred the most extreme survivors. The Dominion's report was clear. Arctic zone unsuitable for invasion. Native species demonstrate extreme aggression and survival capabilities exceeding military combat parameters. Temperature extremes compound defensive advantages of indigenous life forms. Nature had won again, this time using its harshest battleground and most specialized warriors. The Dominion's massive command ship hung in Earth's orbit like a wounded animal. After 6 devastating defeats, the alien High Command gathered for their final war council. The display screens around them showed images of their failures: destroyed tanks in Australia, abandoned bases in the Amazon, shattered submarines in the oceans, and ruined facilities in the Arctic. "Impossible," the High Commander muttered, reviewing the casualty reports. "We've lost more forces on this one primitive planet than in our last 10 conquests combined." The war room's main screen showed live feeds from Earth. In Australia, a giant saltwater crocodile sunned itself on the wreckage of an alien hover tank. In Africa, a pride of lions had made their den in an abandoned alien base. The Amazon's bullet ants had already begun building nests in discarded alien armor. "Our defeat is total," the strategic commander announced. "But it's worse than that. Earth's creatures are adapting to us." The reports confirmed his worst fears. The animals weren't just defeating them, they were learning. Australian spiders had discovered that alien technology made excellent web anchors. Ocean predators now recognized alien submarines as prey on sight. Arctic wolves had learned that alien power cables tasted like seal blubber. Down on Earth, at the International Defense Center, the human leaders gathered to review their victory. They hadn't fired a single military weapon. They hadn't needed to. The Dominion never understood what they were really fighting. Dr. Maria Torres explained, showing footage of orcas systematically dismantling alien underwater bases. "They thought Earth was a primitive planet because we hadn't conquered our wildlife. They never realized that living alongside these creatures made us stronger." Professor Anna Miller added her own observation. "Every piece of their advanced technology failed against simple evolutionary adaptations. Their armor couldn't stop snake fangs. Their shields were useless against charging rhinos. Their medical systems had no answer for jellyfish venom." In orbit, the Dominion High Command made their final decision. A transmission was sent to every alien ship in the solar system: retreat. Earth is to be classified as a Class 10 prohibited world. Native biological weapons make conquest impossible. But Earth's defenders weren't finished teaching them lessons. As the alien fleet prepared to leave, they discovered their engines were malfunctioning. During their time on Earth, tiny creatures had made homes in their ships. Spiders had built webs in sensor arrays. Ants had established colonies in computer systems. Even bacterial colonies had evolved to eat their fuel lines. Even in defeat, we're still discovering new Earth weapons, an alien engineer reported in panic. "The smallest life forms are just as deadly as the large ones." The human leaders watched the alien fleet's clumsy retreat with satisfaction. Commander Stone drafted humanity's first message to the wider galaxy. "Earth is not a primitive world. We are not a defenseless species. We are the planet's most dangerous predator, not because we conquered our wildlife, but because we learned to survive alongside it." Dr. Torres added a warning. Any species that evolved on Earth had to become exceptional at survival. Our planet's wildlife isn't a collection of animals. It's a battle-tested army with millions of years of combat experience. In the following weeks, Earth gained a new reputation in the galaxy. Other alien species, hearing of the Dominion's defeat, began sending diplomatic missions instead of invasion fleets. They came to learn, not to conquer. The humans set up a new planetary defense system, but it wasn't what the aliens expected. Instead of weapon platforms or missile silos, they simply established wildlife preserves. The message was clear. Earth's best defenders were its natural inhabitants. A final warning beacon was placed at the edge of the solar system, broadcasting in all known alien languages. "Welcome to Earth. We are not alone on this world. We share it with the greatest warriors evolution has ever produced. Enter at your own risk." In Australia, a kangaroo hopped past the warning beacon's ground station. In the Amazon, a jaguar dozed on its power supply. In the Arctic, a polar bear's cubs played in its shadow. And in the oceans, great white sharks patrolled nearby. Earth's defenders were still on duty, doing what they had always done, surviving, adapting, and proving that nature was the greatest force in the galaxy.